run group, Carly. He got bumped up to Group 3 in the S10.
As he should with a 59. I mean, that is flying. I mean, everyone that has been listening to the live stream already knows how I feel about that S10, so I'm not going to bore you with it, but that is a phenomenal time, and he should be bumped up. I'm happy for him.
Just so you know, I turned on the air conditioning in the tower. Carly's going to get really cold, so she won't be able to talk as much about her fanboyness.
Yeah, as soon as it's kicking in right now, I think we're going like sub 2 right now with AC. Once it hits that sub 150 like everyone else here at Gold Contact Finals, I'm going to be cold.
Oh, man, this is great. So, as you guys have been paying attention, the times have been dropping. I was at the Yokohama booth for a while because Carla was lucky enough to interview him, but I love the guys over there. I was talking to Dwayne for a while. I want to hope it's Dwayne. All right, I was going to call him Derek earlier, and then I didn't want him to cut me. I was talking to Dwayne, and he is super firm about the fact that on the slicks, the A005s, with this weather coming up and the temperature being better on the track, if they can keep the motor healthy, Tagsma can break the record. The issue that they had, it's not an issue, but they always had tire warmers on the car, but the track was just cold. And you've driven on slicks, I believe. Slicks are a different world. They have to be optimal temperature to work the best possible. And this weather is much better for the tires.
Absolutely. Well, with that said, we will see what's in store for us later today in Group 1. Right now, we're starting with Group 4, Session 7.
Also, to anybody who's out there that wants to catch up with what the major things that have happened, you can go to globaltimeattack.com/live, scroll down past the live stream, scroll down past the live timing and scoring. We have a little small competition blog there just to tell you what's been happening with the heavy hitters, the records, the crazy times that have been flying. So in case you want to catch up and not have to go through all of Race Heroes data, that is a good place for you to check it out. Meanwhile, here we are going live. That's Bobby Velasquez in the right-hand drive EP3. Being followed by Adam Wood in that Subaru wagon, also right-hand drive. That is going to be Nico in the RSX, being followed by Richard Klein in the newer style Subaru with the Renner livery. And then we have Miss Devery, Carly, in the older style Subaru. The reason I'm saying this is so I physically remember it, by the way, guys. It's so difficult when you see two cars with Renner livery to remember. Austin Shipley in his FK8, and then the other EP3 is Ivan Carl Antonio. We're saying this for you guys, but really me and Carla are saying it for ourselves. And we also have Nicholas in his 1010 Civic, being followed by Mr. Kyle Phillips in his 56 Chevy Bel Air. So in that older style Subaru, that is a GC8 style chassis. I don't know if it's an L or a GC8, but that's Carly Devery. She has been running faster and faster laps every session. She went from spinning out in Friday practice multiple times to consistently going faster. So it's really good to see competitors out here laying down fast laps, not just that, but improving. And lucky for Carly, she has an amazing team behind her. The Renner team has been tracking and building performance Subarus for as long as I remember. So if there's ever a team that you want to help you out, they're the guys. All right, guys. Adam Wood with a 202. I don't know what happened to Bobby Velasquez. I think he's in the pits. He must have gone 4 off. So he's coming through the hot pits right now to get checked out. So Adam Wood is leading this pack out. We're going to see Nico followed by Richard Klein. Let's see if Nico can set a faster time. 204. After Nico, we're going to go ahead and see Richard Klein also a little bit faster, 204. He was pitted behind Nico, so his lap time was a little bit slower, but it looks like he is pushing. Can Carly pick up some more time? Okay, she did a 208, but every session she's gone out, she's gone faster on her second and third lap. She's a ramp-up driver, like we say. We have Austin Shipley, who actually passed Carl Antonio. Austin did a 213, but Ivan Carl Antonio with a 207. So Austin has been in the 210, 214 range for the event. Nicholas Zambrano with a 207. I'll tell you something about that 10th gen in a second because we want to see what Kyle runs. 210, couple seconds off his fastest. That 10th gen Civic belongs to his brother. So he actually didn't read the rules completely. He could have ran enthusiast because it's a family member's car, but a direct family member. But he owns a 700 plus horsepower 10th gen Civic drag car, one of the fastest drag car 10th gens that exists. So it's really cool to me to see someone who builds incredibly fast drag cars coming out here in time attack. So that's freaking awesome, and good on his brother for letting him borrow the car.
Hopefully he catches the bug with this and builds a wicked quick Civic for time attack as well.
I mean, it's got the power, right?
Yeah, definitely. Just convert it into a time attack car. Here we go. 2021.
Might need to change the cooling mods on the car, but besides that, just send it, right?
Yeah, that's what I like to hear. Just send it.
That's Adam Wood again. He actually ran a little bit slower by about 7 seconds in his last lap. So he made a mistake or was just cooling her off a little bit. This is Nico right here in his RS6, bettering his time, 203, 211. So he is consistently dropping his lap times this session. That's fantastic. We're going to see Richard Klein, who did 204, 361. Let's see what kind of time he takes coming across the start finish here. 213, but Carly did a 204. What did I tell you? From a 208 to a 204. Give her a few extra laps and she's out here slaying it.
That's awesome to see because that's over a second faster than her current fastest time of the event for her. So congrats to her getting a second and a half faster every time she goes on track.
That's Bobby Velasquez finally starting a hot lap. It shows a 5-minute lap. That's about my standard lap time around here. But he had an off on his hot lap, so he came in through the cold pit. And timing and scoring here is not set up to go through the cold pit under a time attack situation. If this was a race, obviously they would turn on the timing and scoring in the cold pit. I'm sorry, the hot pit, because you wanted that lap to count. But we're not counting laps through the pits here. Here we have Nicholas Zambrano catching up to Austin Shipley there through bus stop. That's one place where you're going to see cars really have a different speed differential because it comes down to the driver's comfort level more than anything. Also, every single 10th gen SI owner in the world is going to use that shot of an SI passing a Type R on track and say, see, I told you I was faster. But you'll notice the speed differential at bus stop when you see multiple cars. That is the section of track you want to carry the most speed, but as a driver, you have to understand your car and where to turn in and how to handle it through that corner. Some people are faster than others through that corner, but that is a make it or break it corner on this track.
Nico has been consistently running 203, low 203s this entire event. In that RSX Type S. All right, so we have Team Renner out here giving the pass to Carly so that she can do a hot lap after Richard Klein has finished his last hot lap of the session.
I will say I'm very happy to be out here today. I'm sure Carla noticed it on lunch. The amount of spectators that made it out this Sunday is pretty incredible. Everything going on in college, people still have time in their day to come out here and spectate this event. Saturdays tend to have less spectators. You know, it's hard for people on Saturday. A lot of people work. You got family stuff. But to make the drive, depending on where you are, like if you're from me, Orange County, this is a 190-mile drive. So to come out here just to spectate, it's awesome to see.
Yeah, I've also seen a lot of racers that I typically race with and against. They're also out here today as well, so it's cool to see them not only caring about Time Attack, but they're here, they're cheering us on, and they're hanging out. It's great to see that. Battle of the new versus the old civics heading into sunset. We have Bobby Velasquez taking the lead here in that EP3 Civic, followed by Austin Shipley running a 208.9.
Kyle Phillips with his fastest time of the day at 207.940 in that Bel Air.
Bobby Velasquez just taking out all the new Civics with that EP3. He is on a flyer. He just ran fastest lap of the session with a 201.330. Looks like he's out to take another fast lap for himself. Adam Wood clocking in a 201.629. I believe that might be, no, it's not his fastest lap of the event. His fastest lap is currently at 201.2.
But he is within the pace where he needs to be. I do want to remind anyone that has just joined us or hasn't heard this yet, we are running a remote live stream. What I mean by that is if you've watched us at GTA Finals before, as I talk with my hands with no camera, if you've seen us at GTA Finals before, we usually run 6 cameras. There's very little track that we don't cover, but due to COVID, 2020 has freight trained us across the board. A lot of our production team could not leave their states because of the jobs that they have. Those jobs basically said if you leave the states, you can't come back. You have to quarantine for 2 weeks, and then you have big accounts you lose. So I have 3 tried and true workers here: 2 camera guys and a guy that's running back and forth helping Carla do interviews and everything. And then I have my producer Ryan Randalls over in his home in Colorado doing what he does best. And then I have a gentleman named Derek in Portland who's just killing the game right now on this stream. So Ryan is taking care of all of the graphics every time you see things, how they're laid out. These are graphics that MVDB Motorsports, that's Mert, he's laid those out for us, and Ryan's tweaking them around, making sure they match what we need. And then Derek is at home right now, basically running the feed, cutting back and forth, giving you guys every single thing that you see, be it the interviews that Carla did, be it our voices. He's the one slaying it over there. So just want to let you guys know this isn't for any other reason other than 2020 has decided to mess with everyone's lives. And there is Bobby Velasquez again, just laying lap after lap after lap. He actually just did a 2-minute lap, 0.027. That is going to be his 5th lap, and it's his best lap of the session so far.
I think that's about as close to getting a sub 2 as you can. 2 minute 0.02. That's about as close as it gets.
I'd say that's about 27,000 away.
Okay, and what's the facts? Yes, Cuban.
Sorry, you should have fact checked me.
You should have fact checked me. It's 28,000 away. If it's 27,000, it would have been too flat.
Somebody is drinking their late break coffee.
Right, Carly Devery, guys. Let's just talk about it. 203.832. Going faster and faster. She really is the superstar of this section. A lot of people will be like, well, she's not the fastest. And I'll agree with you, she's not. But she has definitely laid down faster laps every single lap of the session that she has the entire day. So she has become more and more comfortable with the track. I think she's doing great out there.
And not only is she going faster every time that she's out there, but she's going a second and a half faster every time she's out there. So Carly Devery, looking forward to seeing her continue to go a second and a half faster every time she's out.
And Kyle Phillips, while going across start-finish on his very last lap, set his fastest time of this session and the event, 207.824, about a tenth faster than his last fastest. And then here we have it, guys. These are all the cars getting ready to grid up for Group 3. I see Brett Nicoletti talking to Kit Lee, talking to someone in a race suit that I have no idea who it is. We have Hagsman's car with the tire warmers on, getting ready to hopefully go back out and possibly reset the record. Jason Bagalki over there in his 718 Porsche Cayman, who's been running very respectable lap times. We were talking to him at lunch, and he's just so happy to run with us. He says, not just as a group, but all the drivers are so active and aware of what's going on. He's never had so many people yield way when they're on cooldown laps to make it so he doesn't have to go offline to go fast. So he's really happy to be here. The Arizona guys that made it out here along with the Viper, they're just stoked to be here right now. So we're super happy that they're having a good time. I think this is going to be a good thing for them. It's going to make them want to come out and go fast.
I reset it. You did. Oh, yeah.
So as we're getting ready for Group 3, Session 7 here, thought I'd enter in a little fun fact here. It's kind of interesting to see all the cars in Group 3 are within a 3-second window of each other. So that just goes to show how many cars are just under the sub-2 mark. And we've got Jason Paraga on the screen there. He's bumped up to Group 3. I also saw Dustin Williams strapping down his car in the background, so I think he's done with the Spoon S2000 for the event, unfortunately. And there's that 718 running sub-2s with a convertible. Adam Swan figuring things out with his S13 going faster and faster.
Everyone's going to give that a peace sign.
Well, Henry Lamb decided he's going to do a thumbs up instead with that beautiful FDR7. Love that car.
You have an initial beat car. You should have been doing the peace sign.
Maybe next time.
Everyone's favorite truck, Kevin Phillips. So he did a 59. He's got to do a 57 now. We're jumping time zones here. 59, he needs a 57.
At this point, I'm not even going to underestimate him. I mean, this S10 clearly is sub-2 worthy, so at this point, let's just see what he does.
All right, so here we have Henry Lamb. So Henry Lamb followed by Adam Swan and then Jason Bagalti. Those are the guys that are out on track right now trying to set some times. This is Group 3, Session 7. Right behind them in that beautiful gray Type R Noah Geithner. I don't know why, Sonic Gray Pearl. In that Sonic Gray Pearl Civic Type R. It's a gorgeous color. Came out in 2019. And then Kevin Phillips. Now, from talking to Kevin, I don't even think he brought extra tires, to be honest with you. He just brought one set who could be consistently going faster. Behind Kevin Phillips is Jason Paraga. I'm not sure if that's an actual CR, or if it just has CR Aero, but the S2000 CR looks really good. You put a CR wing and front lip on it, and it's a great looking car.
Yeah, it looks like it's basically just a CR with some wheels on it, and might even be stock suspension. He's just out there turning some fast laps, really close to the sub-2 mark, and that beautiful car number 420 S2000. Noah Geithner getting a little dusty on the exit of bus stop. He's been run okay. That's quite a bit dusty. He's full off in Riverside, but he missed the tower, so that's good.
He just took the Dusty DeCero line through there.
No, actually, that's the slow line because he ended up near the porta potty.
You're
actually right. I forgot about that last year. Sun went off so hard that he could have used the restroom.
He did fight for him and he almost hit the porta potty the second time. He got away from it. So with that said, Henry Lamb doing a 58.433 to start the session. Adam Swan finding another 59.310.
Henry Lamb has really been pushing that FDRX7. It is an amazing looking car. So it's one of those cars you don't see very often, mainly because finding replacement panels for them is kind of difficult. So guys are kind of afraid to send them hard, but Henry Lamb's out here giving zero cares.
And a lot of oversteer on the exit of bus stop, but also another joke that all the FD people probably hopefully laugh at is that a lot of the reason why you don't ever see him on here is because most of the time he's not ready. That's just like, oh, an R7. And yes, I said it.
Honestly, that's any rotary, but I really feel it's because people just don't drive them enough. They will buy an FC or an FD and then they'll put it in their garage and want to drive it once a month and then wonder why it doesn't run. Those kind of engines need to just continuously be ran or rebuilt every week, whichever one you want to do.
And there is one exception to that rule, though, and that is Johnson Mac. Johnson Mac is forever running his rotary, and it's been consistent for him. I don't know what he does to it, but
fake engine cover.
Okay. Whoa. Fighting words for some rotary people out there. We do apologize.
She's apologizing for me. Meanwhile, people are saying they don't run. I think it's really here. Unique rotary people.
All right, I guess I'm gonna have to put that in conclusion then.
All right, so Kevin Phillips is only going to 222. I think he may have had a little bad section where he just pulled back, but I need to see him ahead of Henry Lamb right now. So he's got to do a 158.432 or faster.
I don't know about you, but I don't think I would have never thought I would see the day that I'm expecting an S10 to catch up to an FDRX7. Seems kind of ridiculous, but hey.
To be fair,
out
not
here.
to run.
Hey, you know what? Okay, I don't know. Let's I don't know what I would say about that because I had a Blazer the same generation, and I'll just leave it at that. It never ran.
So to be clear, what Carla's saying is she doesn't know how to maintain or keep the vehicle running well. Meanwhile, Kevin Phillips can do a 205 against his buddy. Noah Geithner is out there trying to set another lap now. He did come in after his porta potty stop. So I think he is actually about to, he's on his warm-up. He will be able to actually start a hot lap after this one if he keeps her on track. And he's been running really consistently. So hope he can lay down a fast lap.
Adam Swan clocking in at 59.2. I believe that might be his fastest lap time so far of the event for him. He's running that car number 905, that S13.
Okay, to be fair, Henry Lamb's car does sound good. There is something to be said about a rotary at full song. Obviously, when you talk about rotary at full song, everyone wants to bring up the old Le Mans car. You know, that's a beautiful, beautiful sound, but you're never going to really get to hear that. But hearing the 20B that comes in the FD, It's just an amazing sounding engine. And he's had no issues with it. Like I said, we've had a really, really good event. Not to be Carla and jinx anyone over here, but very minimal failures on cars. We had one transmission blow up, and we had Graham Downey's car fail. Did you get to talk to Graham by any chance? Do you know what happened to that FK8?
Yes, I talked to Drew himself, and his consensus is that it is a blown head gasket.
It looked like a blown head gasket. A lot of people, obviously, you see smoke, and then the whole paddock thinks the car's on fire, but the smoke was billowing white, and it was coming from everywhere. So, I mean, that just screams blown head gasket. It is sad to say, but luckily it's nothing too serious. Head might be a little warped, deck might be flattened, but there's a really good chance we'll see that our car again coming faster and stronger. For those of you that don't think there's greenery at Buttonwillow, I just want to make it clear. Look at that tree.
Henry Lamb getting a little dusty on the exit of Sunset there. Still in control. Looks like he's still fighting to find more time in that beautiful RX-7. He's currently sitting at a 58.433.
That black Honda S2000, we didn't catch it on camera, but I did see it from the tower. He went 4 off coming out of Cotton. He was trying to carry a lot of speed into the truck stop, bus stop complex, and I think he was putting a little bit too much gas pedal there. So Noah Geithner, after coming in, apparently he had to use the restroom bad because once he got back out on track, 2 minute flat 0.718. So it's a really good lap time. These FK8s are running really well out here. I mean, I'm really happy to see new chassis in general. I mean, we're having Type Rs, we have Supras out here. We actually have a good amount of Supras. Usually when you're talking about Supras, you're talking about Jackie Dagan. I am very sad to say we probably won't see him again, but you know, the other Supras out here running are putting in super respectable lap times. These guys are really, really showing the ability of the chassis. Kevin Phillips was behind the car that went off after Cotton, so he slowed down significantly. When you see dirt like that, you want to make sure there's no competitor in front of you. It's really easy to see from up in the tower, you know, where the car is, because obviously we have a higher point of view, but Carla's been on track, I've been on track, you go through bus stop, and there's a huge smoke cloud, and you're like, am I going to cold trickle that car right now?
Coming late to the party, Carlos Valenzuela busy getting alignment from Graham Downey. Seems to be aligning his car after every session. And meanwhile, we have Jason McGulkey going for a little bit of 4x4 accident at 70. He's been consistent running 59 in that car, so looks like he's pushing for a low 59. On the screen there, Carlos Valenzuela, his plan is to do 2 warm-up laps with this FK8 so that his oil temps are able to get up to 10th and not get ECU code thrown at him.
For those of you wondering what that's about, these new cars, these new Civic Type Rs do have a little safety feature when they're bone stock. If the oil temperature is not up to what the car would consider a safe operating temperature, when you go for a full lap, the car actually goes into a limp mode because it doesn't want the engine to be damaged. So the thing about that car is it actually has really good cooling, a big old CSF radiator in it. CSF, one of the companies that sponsors us, has their name is on the screen for you right now, but because the temps are so good in that car, he actually has to continue to warm it up. Now, there's a couple tricks to that. You either start the car 10 minutes before the session, drive around the paddock a little bit and then go out to a warm-up lap, or because they were realigning the car quickly to get it back out here, he's probably going to do 2 warm-up laps and a hot lap.
Attention in the paddock.
Adam Swan on screen there, finding more time in that S13 before he dips going into Riverside. He just clocked in a 1:57.955. That is so far his fastest lap time of the event.
Adam Swan with the fastest time on track, my good friends. He is at a 1:57.955. We're hoping that we can see Carlos Valenzuela lay down something a little bit faster than that.
Yeah, it looks like he was able to do a couple warm-up laps. Oil temperature looks to be on par as I see him out there starting to bring the pace up and going full send. And there we have it, folks. There is America's favorite end there, sub-2 worthy.
Jason Bagalki on another lap. It's going to be lap number 6, I apologize. He ran his fastest lap on lap 4, 1:59.908. He came into the pits, it looks like, because that is a fast one. What is Carlos going to run here? Oh, 1:58.550. There we go. So that little bit of a trick that their crew let them in on after listening to Carla, he's out there, he doesn't have to come in immediately to reset the code. So he can spend a little bit more time on track, not lose the time to have to do another warm-up lap. So let's see if the car's capable of doing another flyer or if he has to cool her down. And I'm probably going to tell you he is probably still running the car with the heater on. It's a pretty common thing to do in an FK8 when they're modified. You have to do a lot of heat extraction mods under the hood to really get that thing not to overheat too bad. So they have a very beautiful hood, probably one of the nicest hoods you can buy for the car, but it probably still needs the heater on at this exact moment. And there's nothing like making your driver drive on track at 100% with the heater on his feet.
That's nothing that he can't handle. He's we ran Chuck Wall at like 115 degree heat, and he did pretty much 15 hours. Meanwhile, I was dying of dehydration. So looks like he might be on cool down lap or mid-session cool lap. So we'll see. I think he might have time to do another hot lap here. No, we're throwing the checkered flags. So that looks like that will be it for this session. Adam Swan leading the group here with a 57.955. Henry Lamb on pace with his fastest lap time of the event for him is a 58.433. Carlos Valenzuela with a 58.55. Jason Bogolki, 59.9.
In the paddock, the English driver.
Noah Geithner with a 2 Jason Braga in that S2000 with a 201.451. And lastly, but certainly not least, Kevin Phillips in America's favorite S10 pickup truck with a 201.910. And there, folks, on screen is the one and only car on leaf springs here at this event, Kevin Burke in that nice new Corvette Grand Sport. He's been sending the car consistently. I think he is actually at a 48 pace. Yeah, oh no, he ran a 49 earlier this session. So he's been out there killing it. I see him constantly pushing for tenths of seconds out there. So he's hoping to maybe find a little more time for this session. Tang is lining up as well in that E46 M3. And if you haven't heard me talk about it earlier, Tang actually hit the wall at sunset in that car yesterday. But by looking at it, you wouldn't be able to really tell. The guys spent through most of the night was getting the car back together and feeling it and going even faster than he was yesterday in it. So huge shout out to him. He's out there killing it, not fazed by crashing the car that yesterday.
It's like Riley when he's older.
Hey, Group 2 drivers, this is your immediate call to grid. GTA Group 2 drivers, this is your immediate call to grid.
All right, guys, here we are at GTA Group 2. A little something for you to look out for. That second car in line, that's Will Drees. He's going to be going out to try and reset his own record that he set, the limited front-wheel drive record. So hopefully he can set some fast lap times. We'll keep you guys up to date on what's going on. We got Pink Ribbon Racing right there. Will Drees, WRD Racing. We have that gentleman's in the bicycle class. After Will Drees, we actually have Kevin Burke of Kevin Burke Racing in his C7 Grand Sport. Behind Kevin Burke is Sun Vo in that new liveried Honda S2000. That car really does look good. Behind Sun Vo, we have Jose Mejia. He has reset the street front wheel drive record, but I'm really hoping he can break that sub 50 barrier. There's Tom Tang with a car that you would never know took any damage. Mr. Johnson Mack. All right, boys and girls, so we may see a record drop even further in this session. Pink Ribbon Racing is being followed by WRD Racing. WRD has reset the limited front-wheel drive record. So the limited front-wheel drive record as it stands right now, unofficially, of course, no record is official till the event's over. You know, it has to be officially timed. But unofficially, the record has been reset to 148.312. He is thinking that he can pick up another second or so. I was talking to Will during lunch, and Will told me that he knows that that car has at least a second in it. They're going to change a few things like ride height and spring rate because the car is bottoming out down the front straight. You can see the splitter throwing serious sparks. But honestly, he decided he wants to drive through it. They don't want to make too many changes and go backwards. You're here only a 2-day event. You only have eight chances to make significant changes like that when the car feels good. It just doesn't make any sense. So here we go, starting live with this first lap of Group 2, Session 7. That's Nick Romano in his Pink Ribbon Racing Toyota 890 Supra. Being followed by Will Drees in the WRD Racing Honda Prelude. There's those sparks we're talking about. Behind Will Drees is Kevin Burke and Sun Vo. Jose Mejia being followed by Tom Tang. And Johnson Mack. Look, I love me my Dorito-powered cars. When it comes down to it, Johnson Mack's one of the best ones. You also have Mr. Frankie Ho, who has really been flying in that S2000. He was middle to bottom of Group 3 at the beginning of the event. Now he's up in Group 2, so he's definitely laying down some fast lap times. Remember, guys, the time that Will Drees is trying to beat here is a 148.312. That would be his personal record. So that would actually be the limited front wheel drive record that he set. So he's trying to beat his own time to put his times in the record book a little bit better than what they already are. Nick Romano did a 48.261 in his street class A90 Supra. So that is definitely flying right there. The track is looking really healthy.
It won't be his fastest current lap time overall for the event. He's sitting at 48.1, so he's just a tenth of a second off his fastest lap for this first lap out here.
Corey Wells did go a little bit slower. Will Drees at 49.8. Sun Vo also did a 49.8, while Kevin Burke did a 51.0. You got Jose Mazzero, he had a 50.6. That is going to be his fastest time, if I'm not mistaken. I'll let my fact check hit you with that one. But a 50.6 is definitely going to be flying. It is. He did a 51.088. He just reset the front-wheel drive record all over again. I'm hoping he can go sub 50, but a 50.6 is still a great time.
Yes, and that is actually the third time that he has reset the record for this event. So, hey, maybe we can even see it happen another time. He's so close to hitting that sub 150 mark. Will Drees on a flyer lap passing in Riverside.
Got Sunbo really pushing the car right now. It does look like Jose Mejia is still pushing the car. I did see him take bus stop really quickly. It doesn't mean he's going to continue to go fast, but maybe he's trying to go in. We do have Johnson Mack off completely to the right of Sunset. We don't know if the car is broken, but it is not moving. It's often a very interesting place, actually. That's not really a spin-off area. That's a we had an issue, so I pulled off the track area. So hopefully it's nothing too serious. Will a little bit faster, 49.3, but nowhere near the record time. Unfortunately for him, he had to slow it down right there on a waving yellow. Sunbo with his fastest lap of the session of 49.861. I hope that Johnson Mack's car is okay, because Carlos said that it runs and it's bulletproof. It is rolling backwards though, so the car obviously still has its own power. It looks like he's trying to get out of the way from the people on the track, and when it's safe, he's going to come in and try and come into the pits. Meanwhile, Jose Mejia is coming in to talk to his Art attack team, so they're probably going to check the pressures and temperatures, make sure the car is good, and try and send him out again for another flyer. It does look like Johnson Mack is still moving under his own power. I'm not sure if he's in a forward gear yet or if he's still in reverse. It's very possible he could have lost forward gears. There we go. He may have had some kind of mechanical issue, or he may have honestly just locked up the brakes and it pushed him off to the outside. So it looks like he's not doing too bad. He's coming down the front straight under his own power. And it also looks like his hood popped open a little bit, so hopefully his team can catch that one. Good thing for the rest of this session is we did not have to send out fire and safety to pull him in. So there is no waving yellow on the track. So he'll be able, other people will be able to continue their fast lap.
Johnson Mack just doing his best to get back into the pits there and solve whatever issue he had there at Sunset.
I don't see any physical damage to the car on the camera, but his hood is doing the flippy flappy. So I don't know if maybe the hood started to lift up and he pulled off, or due to him coming off hard, maybe one of those hood pins isn't holding down as well as it should. When you're looking right here, though, at Kevin Burke's car, it settles very well. It plants nicely under the brakes. So That is a good looking car.
There is Team Pink Ribbon Racing and Innotech Motorsports making some adjustments there with the tire pressures, looking for tenths of a second. They are just 1/10 of a second off their current fastest lap time of the event so far. He's sitting at a 148.172 would be his fastest lap time of this event, and looks like they are looking to just barely beat that, and hopefully they can sit pretty into the 147 range or really close to it.
So it looks like Kevin Burke was carrying way too much speed into bus stop. He is a very experienced driver, and people don't usually hit the brakes after bus stop. So he was keeping the car out of the dirt right there. This obviously won't be a fast lap, but he was protecting the car.
There's Tom Tang out there still turning laps in that E46 M3. And one car that we normally would see out here, but we don't actually see out here is, actually there's two cars, Amir Bentatau and also Matt Rojana in that Toyota Supra. He's actually going to be done for the day. Spoke with him earlier. Looks like they had an oil pressure cell. So they're going to be calling it quits for the weekend, unfortunately, in that Toyota Supra. But however, he definitely laid down some impressive lap times this weekend. So he was sitting so close to hitting the sub 150. He hit a 150.04 and then call it quits for the weekend.
On Tang with a 56.5, so he's definitely still pushing the car. All right, good news is Johnson Mack is fine. His car is back out there under his own power. I'm sure we'll find out later why he was off the track. May have been just, on his own, something happened or locked it up. Sadly, we do not know at the moment, but these are the times for the session. We got Nick Romano leading the session at a 148.261. Will Dries and Corey Wells at a 149.390. Sun Bo, third fastest at a 49.861. He's definitely laying down some fast laps. Jose Mejia at a 50.674, which has reset the front-wheel drive record, street front-wheel drive record. and Kevin Burke in the 51. So he is actually going slower. I think he is quickly realizing he is running out of tire.
Whoa, Johnson Mack laying it down with a 54.0. Whatever happened, he figured it out, and I think that is now his new personal best time in that FDRX7.
It was a very quick lap. It looked good. I don't think he's ever run sub 54, so he's right there on the verge. Nick Romano at a 48.2 still. Looks like these are the times for the session. Johnson Mack is going faster, but everyone else is staying in about the same area. So after this session, guys, we will have Group 1. Hopefully that does mean that David Hagsma will be able to make his way back out again. And after speaking with the Yokohama engineer for quite some time, he did make it clear about the slicks. He said, look, with the A005, with the way the weather is happening, the track is warming up to a good temp. He was out there taking temperature checks on the track. He thinks the Hagsma car can actually go faster in the afternoon. So we're all hoping for that. We've seen enough records fall today. Can you see the overall drop?
That would sure be interesting if we are able to see that record get reset this weekend as well. Nick Romano is still out there on a flyer lap. Hopefully he's able to get another couple tenths of a second out to squeak into the 147 range. Nick Romano coming back into the front straight. Let's see if he is able to lay down his fastest lap time of the event. Doesn't look like he was able to, unfortunately.
It's kind of odd, though. I'm not going to lie. He usually doesn't miss sessions, so maybe he feels like he just wants to save his tires for one final hurrah in the last one. It would definitely make for an amazing show for him to drop down to 44 on the final run of the day. But as the day progresses, we all know how this goes. It's very difficult for you on the final session with street tires to lay down a faster lap. So it would be really cool to see it. I'm not going to lie, but the 45-1 that he has already laid down is beyond impressive. Never good enough, though. We all know that, but it's beyond impressive. I make the never good enough joke, but Carlo will tell you it's time attack drivers are searching for that one perfect lap. And I'm going to ask you, Carla, is there such a thing as a perfect lap?
I would have to say no. As a true athlete, like Kobe Bryant said better himself, no true athlete is ever satisfied with their performance. So there's always more time to be found, and obviously we're shooting for the best perfect lap that we can have, but as you search for more improvements, you encounter things that you can improve on further, so it's kind of a never-ending cycle.
I just want to add, though, I'm not going to lie. You know, usually doesn't miss sessions, so maybe he feels like he just wants to save his tires for one final hurrah in the last one. It would definitely make for an amazing show for him to drop down to 44 on the final run of the day. But as the day progresses, we all know how this goes. It's very difficult for you on the final session with street tires to lay down a faster lap. So it would be really cool to see it. I'm not going to lie, but the 45-1 that he has already laid down is beyond impressive. Never good enough, though. We all know that, but it's beyond impressive. I make the never good enough joke, but Carlo will tell you it's time attack drivers are searching for that one perfect lap. And I'm going to ask you, Carla, is there such a thing as a perfect lap?
I still out there. He's not able to go faster. He clocked in a 148.985. Johnson Mack also finishing strong with another 154.7. Man, both cars out there till the end, looking for every last little tenth of a second that they can possibly find. Nick Romano, fastest car of the session and nearly his fastest lap time of the day with a 148.261. Drew Will Dries with a 149.390. Sun Vo with his fastest lap time of the event with a 149.861. Jose Mejia once again resetting his own record for street front wheel drive with a 150.674. That is a phenomenal time for this FK8 that he's driving. Kevin Burke with a 151.0. Johnson Mack with his fastest lap time that he's ever put down in that RX-7, 154.0. Tom, Tang, and actually I believe Mark David was driving the car during that session, and he put down a 156.5. Frankie Ho out there again in that S2000 lapping a 157.8. Solid group for this Group 2 Session 7. They will have one last session after this, and that will be the final session of the event. Here we have it, Group 1 getting ready to go out there for the second to last session of the event. Thomas Smith there on screen in that beautiful Subaru. Can't even tell that that car caught on fire yesterday morning. He's out there lapping stronger than ever. Gabriel Shadid in that E90 M3. Looks like JC Monet is making it back out. He skipped the first session this morning, but he's back out at again.
So I did talk with Thomas Smith for a little bit. I'm not sure if Carla told you what caused that fire. Thomas Smith physically replaced the power steering line right before the event because it was rubbing, right? He's like, I'm going to replace this so it doesn't fail. That power steering line blew off. That's what caused the engine fire. But Thomas, being the guy he is, jumped out of the car immediately, put the fire out, didn't cause any damage. Number 2, he replaced a gasket on the car so he wouldn't have any issues. That gasket blew out. He is having some time attack Subaru problems right now. Number 3, he feels that he may have a head gasket issue that's coming on because the car is starting to get warm. Number 4, this is the first time ever he feels he needs brake ducts. He is running so much quicker. He's never had braking issues, but he's getting brake fade by the end of his lap. I mean, Thomas Smith, who ran so flawlessly last year, ran an amazing lap time, podiumed in that car, is just going through the gambit. So it's really good to see him out on the hot pits right now, ready to run. That is definitely something that time attack drivers will tell you. If they can get the car on track, they will. I am very sad to say, though, we're not going to see Johnny Hernandez again. He only ran one session this weekend. He is gone. He was pitted within view of us in the tower, and his truck and trailer and car are gone with his family. So I am sorry to see you leave, Johnny. We wish you could have ran more laps, but you've always been super fast. You always do very well. So I know you'll get that figured out, and we'll see you back out here again, whether it's at the Ridge, whether it's in Texas, wherever it's going to be.
On screen there, Sean Cagle, he was able to find a tenth of a second faster to make his current fastest lap of the event here for him down to a 142.673. He's going back out. Hopefully he can find possibly another tenth of a second. We shall see.
You know, David Hagner's car is not coming off the jacks from what I can tell, but a lot of people will do this. They will skip this session for the final session because the final session is usually a little bit cooler. So hopefully what we're going to see is him out there just on the final session.
I have to say the last session of these events are usually like the last lap of the race. Everyone is out there, and it's typically the craziest session that I ever see. Lots of excitement usually. So people that weren't able to put down what they wanted to put down, everyone's out there trying their hardest. So stay tuned to the last session of the day. We think that this could possibly get really interesting.
All right, So we did not see a mirror in either of these sessions, which could bode badly for him. The Renner car is going out with Damien. He is nipping at Amir's heels for second place. And Sean Kresback is going out, who's nipping at his heels for first place. So Sean does have a lot of time to pick up, but I learned last year very quickly, you don't bet against Sean. He is incredibly fast. Damien, I don't want to be Carla, guys. I don't want to. But Damien is an incredibly fast driver. His car is incredibly fast. But he doesn't always have the best luck to do events. It seems every session he's out there setting fast laps. So Damien also can go out there and reset what Amir has done. Ferris, with the lack of tires he has, is still trying to go even faster in limited class. So this is awesome to watch, guys. These are people who are going to push through whatever they have to try and set fast laps.
Thomas Smith really setting himself up with a lot of space between him and the next person, which he has the room for. So it's definitely smart move. He might be expecting to go quite a bit faster this section.
We have Corvette on Corvette violence going on. Sean Cagle running super deep. This actually shows you the difference in the cars. Ferris has an absolute machine. Okay, Ferris's car, PPG sequential, big old twin Garrett's. I mean, that car is a monster. Sean Cagle's car is very basic. It's an unlimited class car. It still has an H pattern in it. It has an off-the-shelf RPM Stage 5 transmission. RPM makes Corvette transmissions, in case a lot of people don't know. It is still an H pattern car. It has very small twin turbos. People think that because it has twins, it's got this huge boost level. Ferris is making 900 horsepower on a pretty good amount of boost. Sean's high boost setting is 13 pounds. Low boost setting is like 8. So Sean's car is just all response. Ferris's car is just all raw American made. So this is a complete difference between two cars and how each driver makes it happen. I mean, Sean's out here setting 42 in his H pattern car with no ABS and no traction control, while Ferris is out here on a Motec system with ABS and traction control. So it's a huge difference on this car.
The CSF Evo just went down the front straight, and that car sounds great. Hopefully we can see them get a little more time out of this car from this session. They've been getting closer to it. I guess they're still having issues with the power steering of the car. However, hopefully we can just see them continue to go faster and faster.
Sean Cagle, guys, not to cut off Carla, my co-commentator, home A, 141.551. A full second faster than his personal best.
And we see his pit crew running to the pits. They are quite excited for him. That is quite a bit of time off of his fastest lap of the event so far.
Ferris also further in first now with a 144.547.
JC Monet laying it down with a 46.1. Sean Kresback running a 48.380. Gabriel Shadid lapping a 49.57.
So it looks like Damien had to come in really quick and talk to his team. He did not complete his warm-up lap to go to a hot lap, but he just did the 60 kilometers. So he's definitely ready to go out there. There's the old guarded time attack on the screen there. That's JC Monet. If you've been watching time attack in the U.S. long enough, I mean, if you don't know who JC Monet is, you're living under a rock.
All right, so Sean Cagle back into the hot pit. Looks like they're going to make a quick adjustment to the car. And it looks like he might be coming in afterwards. Yep, okay, I guess he might be coming in.
There's a little bit of information I can tell you about his car. Remember I told you he had very small turbos and he runs low boost? He actually has a setup where it responds like an NA car. He puts his foot to the floor at the immediate power. The downside is he is heating those turbos up. This is not a 2-lap car. If he tries to do 2 laps, he gets so high that he'd probably melt. So they're coming out, they're just checking the pressures and the times, the pressures and the temperatures. That way they know what to do for the next session. But it was great to see Sean take a full second out. He told me himself he wants to see a 40, okay? That's all he wants. He wants to see a 40. So hopefully they can figure a few things out, come out one more time and run that 40.
JC Monet with a mid-session cooldown. That is a car that can do 2 laps, so it looks like he's setting up to run another flyer right now. Michael Essa finding another 2 seconds in that CSF Evo. They've just lapped a 150.277.
Thomas Smith is still running very quick, though. He's at a 49.233. This is faster than his time last year that put him on the podium, which is kind of sad because it's not going to put him anywhere near the podium. But Thomas Smith is running very quickly. Damien is now starting his hot lap. So he came into the pits, talked to his team, he's going to run his hot lap. And as you can see, JT is pushing it hard through that back section right there. Going to jump bus stop here really quick, keep it on the track, and hopefully we can see him drop below the 46.1. He definitely is in competition for the limited class podium. I'm not really a fan of betting against JC Monet because he will just make it eat your own words.
There's Michael Essa again finding some more time with a 149.843 in that CSF Evo.
Sadly, he is driving significantly under the limit of that car, guys. Let's see what Damien's time is. Damien, 45.956. Okay, Damien, you're getting some claps right there. That is an incredible lap time. I'm pretty sure that puts him in third. I will have Carla triple, double, quadruple check me on that one while I'm talking, but that is incredible. But what we were talking about Michael Essa is he's driving the car so below the limit because of their steering issue. He is driving an electric power steering car with no power steering. So imagine driving a car with an incredible amount of downforce and trying to make the left at a bus stop. If he takes it too aggressively, he's just going to spin the thing off. He has to slow down a whole bunch to be able to make it through bus stops. So he's still bringing every bit out of the car that he can.
So that 45 for Damien actually puts him in 4th overall and 2nd in limited class because Ferris Cortumi is killing it in that Corvette, and he is first overall in limited and third overall.
I'm going to fact check the fact checker, guys. Damien is now third overall in limited. Amir in the LSM3 is still second. So let me tell you the limited. It's Ferris at a 144.691. It is Amir at a 145.463, and it is Damien at a 145.905. So that's what your podium looks like right now.
That is so crazy. So to make it on podium so far in limited class, you have to be in a really low 145 range. That's insane. We used to see the unlimited class cars having troubles getting down to that, and now limited class cars to get on the podium, you got to be at 145 or bust.
Yeah, and it's crazy because JC Monet did the 46.8. Damien was in the 46s before that lap. So JC Monet with that 46 was putting himself so close to the podium, and then Damien said, "I got you, old man. 45.9. Have a great day."
Damien pulling in for the session, man. What a killer lap he just laid down there with that 145.956. Congratulations to him and the entire Renner team. Man, that car has come a long way and is killing it. Ferris Quartumi getting a little dusty on that exit of bus stop. Full send right now. Let's see, he's trying to go faster. His current fastest lap time for this session is a 144.5. Ferris Quartumi in with a 144.292. He just went faster than his current lap time of this event so far. He is out there killing it every time he's out there going faster and faster. And not to mention, he's on scrub tires from last year.
Ferris is just continuously resetting these times. A 44.2. He is making it basically impossible for anyone to catch him in limited class. So Ferris is on his set a record tour. He hasn't set a record in this. The overall record, obviously, for limited class is a 42, but my goodness, is he close. You want to check out what the limited record is, limited rear-wheel drive record? Let's see how far away he is from that one.
All right, the limited rear-wheel drive record is currently a 144.456 by Cody Kishel.
So he has it.
So that means he has it. So that means that Ferris Quartumi unofficially has taken that record from Cody Kishel. Man, that is crazy to see. And he's out there looking for more time. We still have one more session, so I wouldn't put it past him to go out there in this next last session of the day and see him go even a little bit faster. So man, what an exciting session this has been. And to second what Cuban's point from earlier, from what the Yokohama Tire guys were saying, that actually when the weather is hotter, we might continue to see further faster times for the unlimited class due to these tires liking a little more heat in them. So Ferris Quartumi was able to go faster. Sean Cagle also going faster. Damien going significantly faster. Couple records being set in this session. Man, what a day so far. We still have one more session to go left for this Group 1, and we are getting ready for Group 4, Session 8 to go out to complete their last session of the event.
All right, guys, so that will be the end of Session 7, Group 1. We do have a 15-minute break between this and Session 8. We're going to keep the stream rolling, obviously. We'll keep it on grid for you guys. I will have, we'll roll up some times for you. As soon as this session ends on timing and scoring, it will update our times in our system, and we'll go ahead and put up all the times that have ran so far for the day, the overalls. So we still got a couple minutes before this finishes based on the timing of the session. The session still has a good amount of time left in it. Just no one's on track at the moment. So this is what we have going on right now.
For street class, Amir Betatal still leading it with a 45.1. Sean Kresbach with a 46.7. Jackie Dean hasn't been able to run, but he's sitting in third with a 47.8. All right, taking a look at the current overall standings for enthusiast class and street class. Again, we have strong competition for the podium here. Nick Romano is battling it out, getting really close to Jackie Dean's time. He's only about 0.2 of a second slower. So Jackie Dean is still in the pits, still trying to get his car out for the last session of the day. He's having troubles with that super, so we're not too sure if he's going to be able to make it out for the last session. But Nick Romano catching up to him closer to closer. Every time he's out there, he's getting a little bit closer to Jackie Dean's time, so we'll see if he can catch back up. But current standings in limited class, Ferris Quartumi out there killing it. He reset his fastest lap time, actually is now a 144.292. Amir Bentatal with a 145. All right, so unlimited class here. David Hagsma, hopefully we'll see him out this session. I think we will, with a 137.761.
The ones that come in are 15. I had bought 18, and then my brother bought 28.
Yeah.
So some have older batteries, some are newer, but being 1,000 mega amp, that was
Yeah, it'll go quick.
Well, no, you finished out on this one yesterday. Remember? You were on this one yesterday.
Oh, yeah,
radio
you're right.
off,
Yeah.
And then started today.
Yeah.
Is that your face on the back? Or someone else's face?
No, this is my friend. He just went live on the live stream.
Carla just stepped downstairs real quick. I need you to listen. Can you hear me? Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me? Hello? Yeah, Carla went to join out the restroom. Yes. She just went right past me. They're looking for you. Yes. Like, where's she at? Okay, Carla's back.
to make it long. Alright guys, I've made the trek down here to the Auto Fashion USA pits. I'm here with the entire team. Carlos Valenzuela is the pilot behind the wheel. As I've mentioned before, this is actually Auto Fashion USA's first time attack event, but this is not Carlos Valenzuela's first time attack event. So guys, welcome to Global Time Attack firstly, and I just wanted to ask you, I know you guys typically do car show stuff. What made you want to come out here and try time attack?
So earlier this year, Freddie hit me up and he brought up the idea of us going to Tsukuba to race with another car. And as you know, that COVID stuff happened and we weren't able to travel. Then as the months went on, SEMA got canceled, so no show cars. And I said, hey Freddie, didn't you just buy a Civic Type R? Why don't we throw that thing at Global Time Attack? And yeah.
And that's why we're here. Pretty much full blame on him.
I called him and harassed him. I said, come on, let's race this thing. And here we are.
And next thing you know, now they're cutting a brand new Civic Type R. This is actually Kevin's personal car. So Kevin, what's it like to buy this car new and then all of a sudden now you have the bad influence of Carlos Valenzuela convincing you to cut up a brand new car? How does that make you feel?
It hurts. I'm not gonna lie. You know, like at this point we only had like 2,500 miles on the car, barely anything on it, and then we're just like, let's make it to a time attack car, and we did it within like 3-4 weeks. 3 weeks?
Yeah, 3 weeks.
Built it within 3 weeks for this, and it's been amazing, but it did hurt that first time.
And rumor on the street has it that you guys actually received parts in the mail late Thursday night and were installing the parts just before towing up to the track Thursday night. Is that correct?
That is correct. The sway bars and rear tow arms we got in maybe like 3 hours before we left and just popped it in and had to get up here.
Borrowed a wing from a friend, local friend that ripped the wing off his CTR, so we could have that here. We didn't get to align the car till we got here Friday morning, but it's going pretty well so far.
As I can see, the car still with the stock spring rate. You guys are lapping a 157.5 since that last session. So, Carlos, great job behind the wheel as always. And I hope you guys are enjoying Global Time Attack so far. And we look forward to having you out further into the future as well.
Definitely so much. Thank you guys for having us. Really appreciate this.
Thank you, thank you.
Alright, I've made my way over here with Sean Cagle in that red Caliber Customs Corvette. You've killed it once again, and there's a lot of backfire going on, but we're still going to continue. Congratulations, you again went faster this last session. What did you do differently this time, Sean?
You know, the car's been solid all day. It's just me. It comes down to the driver. You know, the car's capable, I think, of a couple seconds faster. I'm sneaking my way up there session by session, so feels good. Just hoping to get a 40, maybe a 39 last session. We'll see.
We're definitely looking forward to the last session, Sean. You've been killing it this entire event and squeaking out just tenths of a second here and there. So really close to the 140 mark. Hopefully we get to see it for you. I'm gonna jump back to Cuban because I know we're about to go live here on the next session. So Sean, congratulations and good luck going into the last session.
Thanks, Carla. Thanks.
Also, the racing is starting about a minute 15.
right, guys, I've made it back up to the tower. Man, I have to say, first and foremost, the weather says that it's 63 degrees, but after walking the pit, it definitely doesn't feel like 63. It's a little bit warmer out there. So I guess the sun is a little bit stronger today. However, 63 is still decent compared to other years that we've seen here at Buttonwillow, but we are here getting started with Group 4, last session of the event. Lots of cars out here trying to go and see if they can reset their fastest lap times of the event.
You're not wrong though. The whole temperature, it is really warm outside. But I mean, we've had years where we come here, it's 90 degrees in November. So I would take this over a 90-degree day any day of the week.
That's correct. And we've also had years where it's been complete downpour here during November, which also makes things very interesting in a different way.
Especially now that everyone runs Yokohama slicks. That'd be fun. Now, there are rain tires also if need be, but obviously you're not sitting in rain. Any records on rain tires?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, starting off strong here, Adam Wood in that right-hand drive Subaru wagon with a 201.351, followed by Richard Queen in that Renner Motorsports Subaru. He just ran a 204.497. Nico also starting strong here. Actually, not starting as strong. He's probably doing a warm-up lap here. Sorry, Nico.
Carlos getting that Session 8 delusion, guys. I'm going to tell you, anyone who... Okay, long story short, I've always been doing this for quite some time now. I still think I'm terrible at it, but Carla has picked this up very amazingly fast. But she learned at Coda. She did GTA Finals with us in 18, I believe it was. And she learned at Coda in 19, Matt. No, you did GTA Finals in 17 and then did Coda in 18, right? We're on year 3, year 2. Either way, at some point, she did GTA Finals with us, and then we went to Coda. And she was kind of tired here after day 2 of GTA Finals, but it really starts to get into you. You're looking at all this data. You're looking at times. We each have 3 computers in front of us. We're staring at everything. And she had that delusion where I saw her looking at the times, and I know she missed the first number. She thought Nico did a 204 instead of a 224. So she just looked again and just had that look of raw embarrassment. And the good thing about Carla is she's very pale. So, like, the red face is very clear immediately.
Thanks for calling me out there, Cuban. Yeah, I'm at the point here where 7s look like 3s and 1s look like 4s. I don't even know, but we're doing our best over here. Going strong. 8 hours a day, second day. But this is actually the most important time of the event, so I've got my energy drink flowing. I've had 7 coffees already today. Let's go, 2020 Global Time Attack Finals.
Good thing is we have some time to ramp up the emotions. Here we have Richard Klein, guys, with a 2:14.582, 10 seconds off his last lap, so he probably had a little mistake, cooled it off, and to start another flyer. Good thing about this is we will see Amir go back out. Ferris, guys. I was just talking to Ferris out there, and he says he doesn't care. He's going to do a 43. He doesn't care. He's going to do a 43. He says the 42 is out of the question, but we're doing a 43 before we leave. David Hagma is packing up the car, word on the street. So if anyone out here knows David Hagman and wants to tell him, how dare you be that close to the overall record and pack your car up, now would be the time. And I'm sure Carla has something to say about that.
Yeah, well, come on. Anybody here that's at this event, go over to David Hagsma. pit and go ahead and encourage him to go out for this last session. He's so close to resetting the overall record here. Man, it would be great to see. I think he's about 0.3 of a second away. We know he has it in him. We just want to see him try and do his best to reset that record.
Look, every other Canadian record has been thrown away, okay? The only thing that's left is Will. We got to make sure that Will has it in his head that, you know, I got to come back and lay a 35 down with version 2. And just with all the work he put in on the new car and everything he learned with the old car, I don't think that's even close to out of the question. I think Will can come here and get 2 seconds out of his record, no problem. But we need someone like a Hagman to say, hey, we're watching, buddy. Come on down.
And that they are knocking at the door of William L. Young's record, so close to resetting that we don't want to see him pack up the car just yet. We really want to see him go out there and shoot for the overall record. You know who is starting this out strong here? Carly Devery with a 204.1. Again, going a second and a half faster every time she's behind the wheel here.
She may get the honorable mention on the podium, guys. She really has been pushing that car. It is a very plain car, okay? It is not something that I would look at and think it's a street class car. It screams enthusiast class to me. I'm sure there is something causing it to be a street class car. Maybe she doesn't own it, maybe something like that. But for her to be laying down these lap times and constantly going faster, she's doing great out there. Nico, on the other hand, while going bowling, just did a 2:08.083. This is the twilight hours, guys. Every one of these guys has pretty open track. Guys and gals, I apologize. All these guys and gals have this track basically to themselves, but you know, it is towards the end of the day, and a lot of the people in Group 4 have ran every lap of every session. Tires don't last through that. They take some abuse, they take some beating, and then they will only give so much. No matter how good these Yokohama AO52s are, they do have a limit. And a lot of these cars are enthusiast class cars, and we don't even know what tires they're on. We know they're not going to last like the Yokohamas will. This is why you do have to treat you running Yokohama. But these guys have been out here the whole time running these sessions, so really happy to see them. We probably won't see any time drop in Group 4, maybe, probably not in Group 3, but I think in 2 and 1 we'll see some exciting stuff. Austin Shipley's doing really well, though. Carla can go ahead and fact check me on his fastest time, but the last couple sessions, he was in like the 2:10 to 2:13 range. He's doing a 2:07 flat, basically, so that's a really good lap for him.
He's still off a little bit from his fastest overall time of the event so far. His fastest currently is a 2:05.212. I believe he ran that earlier in the day this morning in that car number 669, that black CTR. Fred Nicoletti on the screen there. He's just turning laps out here, having a good time, going top down, getting his tan on here at Global Time Attack Finals. That's a bone stock MX-5. He's just out here having a good time. He's been with us for years. I don't even know how many years, but every event I've ever been to, he's always out here supporting Global Time Attack.
It was in his Mazda Speed 3 before, and now it's in his MX-5. Apparently, he has some weird love affair with Mazda, but it's not a rotary, you know? I just don't understand. But what I can tell you is the car, power-wise, is as stock as it can be. It has an intake on it. It has an exhaust. Intake and exhaust. It has some coilovers, sway bars, huge suspension bushing, all rubber, no steer, it still fits the class. And the car is just, you know, pretty much bulletproof. It has 40-something thousand miles. He doesn't drive it very much because he works from home right now. And he's just out there doing what he does best. Top down, windows down, latte in hand, and just cruising through Riverside.
That's Ivan Carl Antonio on the screen there in that black EP3. He just clocked in at 205.277. I didn't see her pass start finish, but Carly Devry once again going faster with a 203.972. What did I tell you, Cuban? Every time she's going faster and faster and faster, just shaving away at the times here.
Look, I never questioned her. Okay, let's just be clear here. She's proven that of all the drivers here, she's always going to set faster laps. I mean, you look at the other teammates, like Richard Klein is doing great, but he's been at that time point for most of the day now. Carly's like, I'm just going to keep getting closer and closer to you, buddy.
Actually, I'm doing a little bit of fact checking here. Richard Klein's fastest lap time so far of the event is a 203.408. Carly Devry, who is his teammate, is actually only 0.4 of a second off of his pace with a 203.832. Oh boy, we have a wild two-wheel action here, but fully safe and under control. Ivan Carl Antonio really pushing the car hard, looking for a couple more tenths of a second to hopefully lower his current fastest lap time of a 205.277.
Will. All right, guys, I really want to thank you for sticking with us. This is the final set of final set of groups in session 8. It's going to go 4, 3, 2, 1. And first things first, if you have just joined us, number one, you can go to globaltimetech.com/live and read the competition blog of everything that's happened so far with all the heavy hitters. Also, if you have watched us in the past, which a majority of you have, you'll see that the production has a few less cameras than usual. We're doing what's called a remote live stream right now. Carla and I are here at Buttonwillow Raceway Park. I have 2 awesome camera guys and 1 camera helper here doing an amazing job getting the cameras where they need to be. My producer, Ryan Randall, is at his home in Colorado. And then you have our director, Mr. Derek, who is killing it from his home in Portland. This is all obviously due to 2020 not wanting us to do cool things. COVID has caused a lot of people to not be able to leave their states. Obviously, there is no federal restriction on travel in the United States, but people do have jobs that say if you leave, you ain't working for the next 2 weeks. And then obviously, if you can't work for 2 weeks, why are you even here? So we're blessed enough to have a production team that can work their butts off remotely, make this happen how it does. So that's the biggest thing we got going on right now. We have seen quite a few records drop today. We've seen quite a few cars out there doing great. So we'll just go ahead and keep rolling. Remember, we're going to go group 4, then 3, then 2, then 1.
GTA Group 3 competitors. This is your 5-minute call grid. GTA Group 3 competitors for your final session. This is your 5-minute call grid. If you are Group 4 competitors who are coming in, please turn your transponder. Once again, if you've already come in, you're done for the day. We need your transponder.
All right, guys, here's your times for Group 4, Session 8. This obviously was a little bit of a shorter group. This is towards the end of the day. Some people have run out of tires. Other people have run out of fuel. Some other people just run out of money, I guess. I'm actually unsure. But this is the guys that were out here for our Group 4, Session 8. Brett's out there still running hard. I'm really happy about that guy. Austin Shipley's a little slower than his fastest. It's a 2:05. Ivan Carl Antonio did a 2:05. Carly Devry is going to get all the love. She dropped down to a 2:03. Richard Klein also a 2:03, about a 10th off. And then Adam One with a 2:01.35.
Group 3, this is your 1-2-3-minute call grid. Get down there. Group 3 drivers, make sure you get down to grid. This is your final session. If you are not running again, like if you have a GTR, please turn in your transponder. If you are not running again, please turn in your transponder.
All right, guys, we're just taking a look here quickly at the map of Buttonwillow Raceway. This is clockwise 13. This is the same configuration that we always run. Basically, this is 2.7 miles per each lap and lots of turns, as you can see. But what the map doesn't tell you is how much character there is on each one of these turns. So coming out here and learning this track for the first time, and also trying, like we have a few of the drivers here, that goes to say they have a lot on their plate, and people like Ferris Cortumi has been really up to the challenge. He's out there killing it, along with a few other first-timers out here as well.
All right, so what you don't see here, this is actually weird. So it's called CW13 because there's 13 corners. You'll see turn 6 on that one showed it was that same like a 6A and a 6B. We're not at Sebring, guys. There's no A's and B's in Buttonwillow. People here didn't go to school, okay? They just know that there's 13 corners, it's 2.7 miles, and it takes a lot of gas to get around, okay? But Carla did nail it. If you talk to anyone that hasn't been here before, Ferris is a great person. Everywhere he goes, he figures out the track. He said himself, he is still figuring it out right now. Talk to homies in the world's most famous S10 ever, unlike Carlos Blazer, that one runs. He is still figuring out the track as we speak. So it's pretty fantastic. This is an awesome track. No video will ever show you. No sim on a set of course is going to show you, because I mean, on a set of course, I'm like 18 seconds faster than I am in real life. And this is just a great place. It is the inaugural home of GTA Finals for many reasons, one of which being the original Super Lap Battle when Super Street ran. It was ran here. That's where the Cyber Evo ran. That's where Sierra ran. That's where all the famous Jap teams came and ran and set some really impressive times that are still relevant to this day. And that was over a decade ago. So yes, we are in our dusty town of Buttonwillow, California, just down the street from Wasco Jail, down the street from the best restaurant in 50-mile range called Willow Ranch. But this is where we will always run this event. GTA Finals will never leave. When SLB Coda started happening, people were like, well, you're still going to run Buttonwillow? Of course we're still going to run Buttonwillow. This is something that is so ingrained in our time attack world. It's like the guys that I talk to at Grid Life, they will never not run Gingerman. Gingerman is like their pinnacle track. Gingerman is where you go. Are you this fast at Gingerman? Then you're fast. Here at Buttonwillow, are you sub 50 at Buttonwillow? Then you're probably pretty fast. So no, it's fantastic.
And I've been saying it for a while now, and this event definitely confirms it. Sub 150 is now the new sub 2. As the cars have gone faster with this new tire technology, especially from Yokohama Tire, man, the cars have really gotten faster. Looks like Carlos Valenzuela is already coming into the hot pits here. He might have gotten another ECU code that they have been struggling with before. Hopefully they're able to figure it out. But we have here Aaron Gong already starting out the session strongly, looking to start his first hot lap here. Followed by Adam Swan at S13. He's sitting on a 57 for the event, so I know he's been out there going faster each time he's out. Noah Geithner also getting faster every time he's out here with that nice silver CTR. He's an enthusiast class car. He's already jumped up groups along with Adam Swan as well.
All eyes are on you, Mr. Gong. You've actually been setting some really good lap times. Aaron Gong is, I believe, leading the enthusiast class. I will fact check myself. I'll let Carla do more important things. That's what I did.
Oh, right.
You're right. Yeah. I thought you were fact checking this.
Carla has lost control of her microphone, guys. She thought mute was unmute and mute and unmute was mute. I was wrong though. The fastest person in enthusiast class is Joshua Reyes. He's actually 3/10 faster than Aaron Dong's fastest time. So Joshua Reyes in enthusiast, a 57.511. Aaron Gong at a 57.855. Can you do me a favor and look up the enthusiast record, Carla? I thought it was a 58.
Enthusiast rear-wheel drive record is currently a 155.518. That's held by Dom Bautista.
Figured would never get. I remember that car. He hauled the mail in that thing. It was a supercharged S2000. Didn't make too much power. Just was a very well for a car. And Dom rode the ever loving life.
Floor drivers, make sure you get your transponders in. Floor drivers, make sure you get your transponders in.
Alright, little update on the Auto Fashion CTR. Looks like they had to pull in, and I saw them pull into the cold pits to do something with the ECU. Looks like they probably had to reset it once again. Hopefully, now that it's reset, we can get the oil temps up and send it for another flyer. Carlos Valenzuela has been able to wheel that car to a 57.5 on stock spring rate. Adam Swan going and starting strong with a 57.844 in that S13.
Yeah, and you know what? I guess Carlos Valenzuela was the first one to the grid, and he was probably just running the car there. I think he felt that just by idling it could get the temps up. He probably should have ran 2 warm-ups like he did last time, but you live, you learn. It says acumen on the back of the car. I have no idea what that is, but I'm sure that's something that helps. What they did do, as Carla was talking about, they've been fighting understeer on this car. If you saw the Auto Fashion car before, it had a Voltex wing on it and a different alignment setup. They put the stock wing back on and put the toe out in the rear just to get the car to rotate, which probably feels kind of interesting going through Riverside. Carla, how would you feel about driving a car through Riverside with toe out in the rear?
Yeah, that can be a little sketchy sometimes, especially when you hit those surface bumps coming into the first apex. But sometimes you have to do what you have to do to get the car to rotate in low speed.
Low speed rotation equals high speed spins. It's really good for TV. I was going to say it's good for radio, and I'm brain dead right now. The good thing is we do have 2 FK8s on track. We got Carlos chasing down, I believe that's Noah Geithner in that beautiful supersonic blue pearl Civic Type R FK8.
It sure is, and he clocked in a 59.745 on his first lap out here.
We have as many cars on track as cameramen in Sunset right now. This is a completely open track with these guys. Like I said, end of the day, this is something that anyone who's watched our stream has gotten used to. These people really push hard in the morning sessions. Those are the sessions that yield the fastest outcome. After speaking to a few teams, it's actually really funny. Everyone told me that the very first session with fog cover was the best. Even though we had a little bit less grip on the track, the tires came up and it was the best. Amir ran slower on the second one. He himself also said, you figured it would have been better with the sun, but the motor wasn't as happy. The grip level is basically the same. So we got records set in fog. The only person who doesn't give a darn is Ferris, who's just been setting records every time he comes out. So he swore to me he's getting a 43. So if he doesn't, we're not allowing him to register for Super Lab Alakota.
Strong exit to bus stop there. Carlos Valenzuela, he's on his first hot lap of the session. Followed by Noah Geithner, also in that FK8 CTR. He's been lapping at a 2-minute flat, 2-minute .050. Only 1/10 of a second off of his fastest lap time so far of the event for Carlos Valenzuela. He just clocked in a 1:57.641. That's really close. He's looking for maybe even a 57.4. He's getting down to the hair with this lap time for this really soft FK8.
So Mr. Swan actually ran a faster time while we were watching Carlos Valenzuela go around. He now has the fastest time of this session with a 57.293.
GTA drivers, this is your group 2, 8 minute call grid. Attention GTA drivers, this is your 8 minute group 2 call grid. Please make sure you keep the grid open so cars can come out, guys. We still have 2 groups left. We have to be able to get them on grid.
All right, guys, we are just finishing up here with Group 3, Session 8, last session of the day. Adam Swan clocking in a 157.293. Carlos Valenzuela clocking in a 57.641. Aaron Gong with a 159.459. Noah Geithner just at a 2-minute flat with a 2-minute.050. That will be the last session of Group 3 for this entire event. And we are getting cars. And we are getting cars next for the last Group 2 session.
All right, guys, so here's all the cars bringing up. We do have Sun Vo coming up, again, in one of the prettier S2000. So from what I can tell here, we have Amir, followed by Nick Romano in the Pink Ribbon Racing car. Yeah, Nick Romano in the Pink Ribbon Racing car, followed by Kevin Burke, and then Sun Vo, the BMW 1M. Tom Tang is gone, by the way, so that would be Mark David in the Track Spec Autosports BMW We have Vincent Del Campo in his EG hatchback. And then, pulling in now, Will Drees. He feels that there is still time on the table for that car. They did reset the limited front-wheel drive record, but like anybody else, no one's happy until you've gone as fast as you physically can. So Kevin Burke probably has used the most out of his tires, but he's still out there to try and give it a shot. There is Will Drees in the WRD Racing Prelude. A really good looking car. It does have some RS Future Aero on it. You see a member of the RS Future team talking to him. Nick Romano over here. Very, very quick in that A90 Supra. And funny enough, Amir's whole team is talking to other people. I guess Amir wants to be in the zone or something. He is by himself. All right, so I'm getting a lot of messages here. People think Amir is going to do a 44. I have no idea. I think the car is definitely capable. Can he do it in his final session? We're going to have to see. All right, guys, this is Group 2, Session 8, their final session of the weekend. This is their chance to go as fast as they can. Johnson Mack needs to get moving. Vincent Del Campo is itching. You can see him forward there. Just go.
Johnson Mack has been killing it this event. He's found his personal best time so far in that FDRX7. He's going back out, seeing if there's a little more time on the table. I think that there is. Johnson Mack, we're hoping to see you into the 53 range along with Vincent Del Campo. I saw him at lunch cutting his fenders. Not sure what he was doing in there, but I know that he was looking for that 53 inside that Civic EG.
Yeah, we have Vincent Del Campo. I mean, he knows he could go faster. There's zero doubt about it. So hopefully he can just find the line, find the angles he needs. It is the last section of the day. You're mentally tired. We were speaking with the gentleman with the Viper, and he himself said he has never pushed a car this hard for this long. He is physically tired. So people who don't drive out here, you drive your car on the street, you don't get tired. You're not pushing yourself to the max, but you're out here trying to hit corners, brake zones, get your gas acceleration correct. It's so easy to become mentally and physically exhausted. So these guys out here that have run every single session and pushed their cars to the max, they're definitely putting in work.
Also putting in work for us. Quick shout out to our event sponsors, Yokohama Tire. Thank you so much for being out here also in person with us today. Garrett, also one of our large sponsors, and Raise Wheels, Ignite Fuel, Competition Clutch, CSF Radiators, Base Shapes, Meister Watches, and Stop Tech. Thank you so much to our event sponsors that are here making it happen for us. And speaking of making it happen, Amir Bentatel bringing out that NSX for one last session of this event. He skipped the last session, saving the car, hoping that he go a little bit faster in the NSX.
Yeah, not just him. Will Greaves out here trying to push it, make that limited front-wheel drive record be even lower. So they're out here doing a great job. I mean, basically everybody out here right now is pushing as hard as they can. Group 2 and Group 1 are out here trying to set fast lap time. So Amir is definitely pushing his car. We can see him going through the back section over here. The car has a lot of weight transfer right there through the fast section. Bus stop really tells us how hard he's pushing. Whoop, one tire off, so he's definitely out there pushing as hard as he can. Hopefully we see a faster lap time, maybe something into the 44s, but you know, only time will tell. Amir did set both of his fastest laps not on the first lap, but we'll know if he's pumping his fist coming down the front straight.
Johnson Mack with a little two-wheel action there, but staying in it. He's looking for that.
And a 144.768. We are in the 44s in street class, boys and girls. That is a 144.768. I just had to completely cut off Carla. I apologize because she's looking out the window for someone off Riverside. But there it is.
Wow, congratulations to Amir Bentatel and his entire team, man. That is amazing. He's just reset the record that he has already reset, street overall and street rear-wheel drive. And we have people jumping up and down in the paddock here, celebrating Amir's 44 street class. That is incredible to see that street class cars are now in the 44 range.
I mean, I don't even know what to think about that. 44. We were like, oh, it'll be in the 46s. And then he does a 45. We're like, wow, he did a 45. Maybe a 44. Give him another section and do a 43.
Kyle Robinson clocking in a 150.821. That's in that 1M that's on the screen there. That's a wicked fast time as well. This section might be a really quick session, guys, so make sure you pay attention to this. And also our last Group 1 session, I think we're going to see some killer lap times coming up.
So the one person we haven't seen do a lap yet is Will Greaves. He went all the way around. My guess is Will is the one that actually went off because Will came directly into the hot pits afterwards. I hope they're not fighting any more brake issues because they definitely are flying right now.
Okay, so Johnson Mack must have heard me on the live stream because he just clocked in a 153.965. That is an amazing time for that FDRX7. Congratulations to Johnson Mack. Man, he's now in the 53 range, and there we have it, guys. Amir Bentatel resetting the record with a little bit of smoke, but hey, he reset it. Now he's in the 44 range. His entire team and entire pits are jumping up and down right now. There he is, guys. Johnson Mack with that FDRX7.
Yeah, Johnson Mack is running very quickly with his 53.965. He is definitely moving. Vincent Del Campo is at a 55.4 right now. He's definitely moving also. That right there is Will Greaves with a 4-minute lap. He actually had to come through the hot pit. So this is the start of his flyer. They want to improve the limited front-wheel drive record even more so than they already have.
That's Mark David on the screen there, just taking some laps in that E46 M3. Oh, Nick Romano sending it through the dog leg, carrying so much speed into bus stop. My goodness, this is definitely a flyer. He is going for it. I think he's going to have a faster lap this one. Let's see. Let's pay attention to this super here. Pink Ribbon Racing Tech. I think he's going to have a faster lap time here. That's Kevin Burke going into the hot pits. Probably going to get a tire pressure adjustment, and then he will be back out.
And for those of you wondering, the time that Will Drees is trying to beat is his 148.312 from session 6. So if we see anything below a 148.312, that is a new limited front-wheel drive record. It would, of course, be him resetting his own record from this event, but that's just awesome. It looks like he did make it past Vincent Del Campo, so we're going to see what time Will Drees runs across. Carla is leading it right now. My guess is Johnson Mack just did a personal best.
Johnson Mack, another 53.487. He just went second faster than his prior best time. He is out there killing it. I don't know what he did before this session, but he's definitely finding time right now.
Yeah, and Will Drees did a 48.8, so he's about 5/10 off of his fastest. So no new record there, but the session is still young.
Kyle Robinson doing a mid-session cool down, getting ready to put down another 150. Hopefully we can see him crack into the 49s. He's definitely really close to getting in there, so we'll see if he's able to do it this last session of the event for Group 2. Alright guys, that's Nick Romano on the screen there. He actually didn't end up going faster, but man, he was carrying so much speed through the dog leg. His fastest lap time of the event so far is a 148.172. He's so close to breaking into the 147 range, and that's in street class. There he is, Vincent Del Campo. We're really hoping that he can break into that 53 mark. He's so close to it. He's definitely trying to find time. Looks like he might be on a mid-session cool-down lap to get one more hot lap in that Civic EG.
So Kevin Burke out there is still pushing, trying to get a lower time. He knows that the odds of him standing on a podium are pretty low right now. But the odds of Will Drees resetting his own record are not low. He did go 1 off, 2 off right there in bus stop, but we'll go ahead and see how this plays out.
Jumping Burns there. That Robinson in that BMW 1M. He's currently sitting at a 150.821 in straight rear-wheel drive. We had a little oversteer action there, bus stop. Vincent Del Campo on a flyer lap in that Civic EG. We're rooting for him. Hopefully he can crack into 53 range. He's so close.
Will Dries actually pulled off the front straight. So he was coming down the front straight, and it looks like something may have let go because the car just started sparking on the floor at low speed. We're used to seeing that car spark at high speed because it's got titanium skid plates on the bottom of the splitter. But that may have been an exhaust or something that let go because they did have to create a new exhaust for the whole aero package. So right before start finish, we saw him pull to the left side of the track and slow down, and then he pulled in on track in. That way he didn't have to go all the way around the track and damage the car. Not something we would recommend you guys to do in a regular track day, but out here during a competition, you're not going to have cars pulling out right there. And even if there were cars pulling out, our grid guy would have held them. So he caught that really quick.
Finishing up his lap. Vincent Del Campo entering the front straight here. 56-1. Oh man, he's going for that 53. Vincent started 54. Maybe he can do another cool down lap and then do one last try here. This is the last session for Group 2 of the event.
There's Johnson Mack right there coming in. He has ran his fastest lap of his event in this last session with a 153.487.
And you can see his entire pit crew is really excited for him. This is a phenomenal time for this FDR7. He has just been finding more and more time out of this car. Johnson, we are really proud of you. You've done a great job with this event, and 53, solid time for that FDR7.
I just wanted that to text them.
Looks like Kevin Burke is on another flyer lap here. He is in Riverside catching up with Vincent Del Campo. Vincent giving him the path going into Phil Hill. Nick Romano on his cool down lap. Man, what a day for Amir Bentital. He just reset his fastest time in that NSX, which resets his current record for street overall in that NSX. He just lapped a 144.768. What an event so far, man. He has just been killing it in both that NSX and also the E36 M3. Congratulations to him and his team. He's out here ready to impress, and he has done nothing but that, so congratulations to him. Kevin Burke, mid-session cool down. He might be sending it for this last lap. We're running out of time in this session, so he might have one last shot to try to crack into the 49 range in that Corvette Grand Sport. And just giving us a little show there, Kevin Burke getting sideways over bus stop. Nick Romano looks like he has set himself up for one last hot lap in that Pink Ribbon Racing Team IMS Toyota Supra. There he is in Riverside. Let's see if he can do it. He was really close to the 47 range earlier today. He's been a little bit slower in this session, but man, he is sure trying. He's trying so hard to pull hairs to find tenths of seconds here. So let's see. He has probably one last shot to do it. So we are definitely rooting for Nick Romano. Kevin Burke is pulling into the hot pits. He is done for the day and done for the session. There we are, Nick Romano, clean exit through Sunset, crossing the liner. Let's see. Oh, so close, 149.0. All right, so he didn't end up going faster, unfortunately, but man, he has been trying so hard, and how far they've come along with that Supra that they have just started building a few months ago. Not that much development into the car, and they're already putting down a 48 lap time overall for this event.
It's blazing fast, Carla. I mean, let's be real with each other. The difference between 2019 and 2020 is not a small amount. We're so used to seeing times get you on the podium pretty consistently. You know, last year, if you told me that you would have to be at a 47 to be on the podium, that'd be rough. I don't even think I'd be able to understand that. You know, a 49, you know, oh man, you did 49, that's at least third, right? Nah, third, 49, fifth, sixth maybe? Because, I mean, we have Jose Mejia reset the street front wheel drive record, did a 50.1. I think he's in seventh. I mean, I'll get you an exact spot right now, but to say that someone is doing a 50 and it doesn't even put them in the top 5 of said street class is wild. So Jose Mejia is an 8th. Let me tell you right now, 4th is at a 48.1. 5th is at a 49.2. 6th is at a 49.6. 7th is a 50.0, and that's Matt Rajana. And then Jose Mejia is at a 50.6. Johnny Hernandez is at a 50.7. Kyle Robertson at a 50.8. 1st through 10th is 50 and below.
Wow, that is so crazy to see how much faster the cars have gone this year. And accompanied with those Yokohama tires, making things more even across the platform. Everybody's on the same tires. So this is incredible to see. I'm really looking forward to seeing what's to come in the future for
Just so you guys know, Jackie is out here for this final session. They're gridding him in the very back. They think maybe they have it figured out, but there's a good chance the car's going to lose boost mid-lap, so he didn't want to be gridded where his previous time would have put him. So he came up to the GTA staff and said, can you please grid me in the back? If I can run the lap, awesome. If not, he doesn't want to hold anybody up. So that's a true competitor right there. He would never want to cause someone a fast lap.
Well, we sure hope that we can see Jackie Dean back out here. I know he's been struggling trying to get the issue sorted with that Supra. He is in quite the competition here for street overall. He's sitting in 3rd place right now with Sean Kressback just in front of him with a 46.797. So what do you think, Cuban? Do you think we're going to see David Hagsma come back with the GTR? Or do you think he is done for the day?
I'll be really honest with you. I'm pretty sure he's done for the day. I mean, his car is probably being blocked in by his team right now. I see Will driving around that cute little yellow scooter Chingus. So we're not going to see Hagsma again. But what we might see is Amir go faster in the Motorsport Hardware LSM3. He saved both cars for this session. Ferris is saying he's going to do a 43. He didn't say I want a 43. He said I'm doing a 43. So we're pretty sure we're going to see him do it or drop trying.
Also, Sean Cagle, he said he's going to go faster this last session as well. So we're really cheering him on. Hopefully he's able to do it. I know he's looking for hairs of seconds here, maybe tenths of seconds. So good luck to all the teams out here. This is going to be a really exciting session to watch here.
Well, he could go borrow some hairs from Carlos Valenzuela. Here are the standings right now for what we have going on. Mr. Reyes is leading and is winning. He has one enthusiast class with a 57.5, Aaron Gong a 57.8, and Henry Land a 58.0. But this is what matters right here, guys. Amir, 44.768. Look all the way to 10th. Just do me a favor, look all the way to 10th. 15 seconds all the way to 10th. We have a street front-wheel drive record in 8th. We have Kevin Burke in the Corvette in 6th. This is just incredible to me. But limited is also very important. This is going to come up in a second. I want you to know there are 2 cars, all 3 cars that are first, second, and third and limited are actually waiting to go out right now. So this street class is ridiculous. Ferris says he's going to do a 43. Amir is trying to, take Ferris off the podium, but Damien's trying to take Amir off the podium. Damien is only 4 tenths off of Amir. Sorry, 4.5 tenths off of Amir. JC Monet wants to take Damien off the podium. Corey Wells and Will Dries, they had their chance. They're done for the day. Unlimited, David Hagsma is not coming back out. That is a very sad day for us. For someone to be so close to the record and not go out, it's their car, it's their team. I would never make a decision off of that. Well, I'm not the one funding that program, but it hurts us inside because no one has been close. No one has done a 37 since Will. People have done 38s and 39s in the past, but that was in the past. Ever since Will did a 37, no one's come close.
Damien going back out in the redder Subaru there. He clocked in a wicked fast time earlier with a 1:45.9. Jackie Ding, there he is on the screen. Finally getting back out in that Supra. Let's see if that car can hold together because, man, there's a lot of potential there, and he is really eager to find it.
Well, and to be fair, Jackie had such a strong day one before that issue arose. This is the real downside of racing a new chassis. The same issues Carlos is running into with his FK8 and other people are. The same people are having issues with the 890. I mean, Matt Rojana's retired for the day. He's done. Jackie was putting down a fast lap. If you've ever watched Jackie, he always puts down a banker first and then tries to send it, right? The lap he sent was his banker. It was not 100%. And I believe him when he says that. I've been watching Jackie long enough to know he's not going to lie to me about the potential of the car. So he was just putting down a banker, and he came in, and the car lost all boost. And he's been fighting that issue since yesterday. And there has to be nothing more heartbreaking than coming all the way out here to only be able to put down one lap. So he's going to go out there. Hopefully the car holds together. Hopefully it holds the boost, and they're able to do a lap. Sean K is going to give it everything it has. He definitely doesn't want to take second. I mean, Amir's time is utterly incredible, but Sean Kozak won last year. Now, to be fair, Amir's transmission blew up in the back, and that's why he has a Samsonite dog box now, or dog gear set in a factory K box, because he never wanted that to happen again. His data, every driver's going to talk to you about data, but his data showed that he had a first place car based on what Sean did. All right, guys, we have 2 push-rock cars pushing down the front straight. I'm pretty sure the third car coming down the front straight at any moment will be a mirror. So that's 3 LSs in a row, 2 that actually belong in the car and 1 in the BMW. Damien trying to take Amir off the podium now. If anyone remembers the last time Amir was out, it was session 6. He went off really hard at Sunset. He was trying to find the furthest he could push the braking point. He found it a little too far there. So he knows how far he can push it now. Hopefully that will equate to a faster lap. Sean is not on a plier, by the way. He put some tires off out of cotton, so he knows that his lap is not going to be faster, so he's not going to go ahead and push it. There's a good chance when he catches it that fast that he can come in, pull it down for a second, and actually lay another lap. It is not common for him to do 2 laps, but I've seen him do this in the past where he catches it too early, pulls off, calls it a day. Jackie's car coming down the front straight is not carrying as much speed as I would expect, so I feel like that car has no boost right now.
Yeah, I also saw him nod his head going down the front straight, so I'm not too sure what that signal indicates.
So Sean had an issue and Ferris went 4 off around back. Let's see what kind of time he is running right now, though. He is still on a flyer. It is slower than his fastest time at 46.4. Obviously still a very fast time, but not fast enough to get close to Ferris.
Damien also a little slower for this session with a 47.655. He's about 2 seconds off his fastest pace here. So there might be some debris on track as well from the 4 off that we just seen. So we can't see it from the camera, but
I have great news for you, though. I was right about Sean. He had his car checked. He is going to send it again, okay? Sean K did a 46.0. That is his fastest time. That is actually a very, very fast time. When I talked to him on Friday, he said his goal is 46, and he is at the very bottom of a 46. Super close to a 45. So, man, more power to him. He really is a machine. To come out here and run a 46 in the second time he's ever driven this track, he is flying.
JC Monet with a 46.143. That is right on par with his fastest lap of the event. Oh no, looks like we have Jackie Dean pulling into the hot pits here.
Yep, he was not able to do a complete lap. The car probably wasn't holding boost. The wastegate is going to a safety mode and opening itself back up. This is the downside of these new cars with electronic wastegates. The positive is you will never damage the engine. The negative is sometimes the driver wishes the car would overboost, or at least they can do a lap. So that thing probably feels slow as can be when you're used to the kind of power the car makes with a turbo. Having to do in NA mode is probably no fun at all. Amir on lap 2 with a 46.4. It was faster than his first lap, but still nowhere near the time he needs to be to surpass Ferris. The good news is, as you can see on camera, Sean is going to send it. So he had an off over by Cotton Corners, exiting. He's doing his warm-up lap right now. He's doing it very calmly because that truly is a one-lap car. He does not in any way want to get those turbos hot until he's ready to start that flyer. So we will see Sean really ramp it up around the backside, and when he comes back onto the front straight, we're going to see him send it. So Damien's team is over here going to put gas in the car, I'm guessing. They run that thing very, very low on fuel. It's true qualifying trim, as you would say. They don't want that car to have any extra weight whatsoever. They put in enough fuel just so it can make a lap.
And that looks to be exactly what they were doing with the Renner Subaru there. Hopefully he can get another lap. We will see. If they're putting fuel in the car, looks like he's going to send it for one more shot here.
All right, guys, as you heard on the camera, that was Sean flying down the front straight, so he is definitely going to send it now. He himself just wants to see a 40, guys. That's all he cares about in his life as we speak. He wants to see a 4.0 on his timesheet. He's gotten down to a 41. He is so incredibly close. If the car is capable, the driver is capable. Let's see if he can put that one lap together. Meanwhile, JT Monet is starting to push on the backside of the track over there. Good news, Damien in the renter car is going back out, but
I also did not see his trunk on there.
maybe they just felt they didn't have the time to put it back on.
Sean Cagle about to enter into Phil Hill. Let's see if he can lower his fastest lap time here.
All right, guys, so here's Damien on his warm-up lap. He's going to try and get some heat back into those tires, and he's definitely going to send it. Meanwhile, I see Sean coming down the front straight, so let's see what kind of time he lays down. A little slower, guys. It's a 44.1. He would have wanted to do it on his first lap because the tires just got too cold. He does run tire warmers to keep the temperatures up. He does not have the ability to do a hard warm-up lap. So much respect to Sean and his team. They did run a 41. You know, there's no hate to that whatsoever. True privateer effort. H-pattern, C5, fixed roof, coupe, red car record. So he is definitely out there laying it down.
He's done a wonderful job since he's been here this weekend. Man, he's been just trying his hardest to continue to find tenths of seconds there in that awesome Corvette there. His entire team is looking pretty happy with his overall performance here, but they haven't actually quite left the pits, so I don't know if maybe he has something else up his sleeve.
Meanwhile, Damien is starting another flyer. He has the ability to surpass Amir on the podium, guys. He is in third place as we speak in limited. Another class that is just flying. Amir sitting in second, Ferris sitting in first. I'm sure it would feel great on the last session of the day to go from third to second.
All right, that is Ferris Partucci on the screen there. He had a 4 off, sending it, trying to find that 43, but hey, he said that he's putting it down, so he's fired back up, gonna go back out there, and he told Cuban himself that he's going to hit that 43 or he's not going home. So let's see him run that 43.
All right, guys, Sean is done. Sean Cagle, I speak of. Ferris, on the other hand, after that 4 off, is out to try again. So he's going to go ahead and do his warm-up lap. And, I mean, he's the confidence in his voice. I know he wants it bad. He's almost like trying to will it into fruition. Damien with a 47.1, he was not able to better his time. I feel that probably was his last effort right there. So unless something drastic happens, I think our limited podium is set. It's going to be Ferris Kartoumi, Amir Bentatow, Damien Carlo is the only one. Tuchinishki. Luckily for us, it's not over on times, though. We're going to see Ferris come try to set another flyer. As far as fast cars down the front straight go, we've seen some incredibly fast cars, and I gotta say Ferris is very high on that list. This thing flies down the front straight. All right, guys, I can hear Ferris coming out the backside. I think he's about to turn on a sunset, And there he goes.
There he
Hard
is,
on the
heading
brake.
into sunrise, starting his last hot lap of this event here, guys. We're looking for that 43 from Ferris Fortumi.
I mean, it's super possible. Anything is possible. I've never in my life seen anything like that, but anything is possible.
Ferris is 2 off on the exit of bus stop, but heading into Riverside with a lot of momentum.
To be fair, we've seen people go 2 off at bus stop and set records. It's definitely not an area that's going to cost you too much time. The most important thing you can do is just carry the momentum through Riverside over to Phil Hills. So he didn't lift, he didn't brake, nothing like that. So we'll see what time he sets.
Here's Ferris Fortumi entering Sunset for his last lap of the event. Can he get that 43?
No, 44.4. Okay, guys. He definitely gave it his all. Let's not lie to each other here. He put everything on the table. Here's the hard part with Ferris, okay? He had an event at COTA right before this. He did Optima Search for the Fastest Streetcar, won COTA, set the fastest outlaw time there was. Almost won. I think he took second or third in the autocross event for $25,000 there. He didn't know if the car was going to stay together for this event. So it's hard for him to buy tires for this event, not knowing if he could come. The hard part is the cutoff to buy tires was a week before the event for them to be here with the Yokohama booth, so he just wasn't able to get tires. He still towed all the way out here. And I will tell you a small story. He wasn't even supposed to tow the car out here. His tuner, Alex, was going to bring his twin-turbo C8 and Ferris's car. Last minute, Alex's car, something happened. It couldn't be, an issue happened and it wasn't going to be able to run. So because of that, Ferris basically had to cancel his flight, cancel his rental, get in his truck, and tow his car out here on his own nonstop. You want to talk about commitment to running tracks and commitment to being fast? Ferris is very, very high on that list. Meanwhile, it looks like Damien wants to go out again, so maybe I am wrong about the podium. We'll see what kind of lap time he sets on this.
Damien back out, last car on track here. We thought he was done, but he is coming back out for one last shot. He's on his warm-up lap here. Just enough fuel for one more lap and one warm-up lap and one more cool-down lap. That's all he has in that car. There is Ferris Fortumi. Lots of great effort from him this weekend. Man, it was great to watch him drive and continually improve his time as he has still learning the track every time he goes out here. He's never been to Buttonwillow, but he's obviously a phenomenal driver. He's learned the track really quickly, and it's awesome to see him do so well, even on scrub tires.
So I want to tell you a little fact that I was just talking with someone about. In street class, the record got broken by 1st through 5th. 1 through 5 broke the 48 record that stood since 2018. That is utterly incredible. The only thing that we have left standing right now from Street and Limited is the Limited overall. That is still from 2015, Jeff Westfall and Professional Awesome. It's a 42. And I feel like we won't see that stand for very much longer. But here we do have Damien about to start his, what I believe would be his final hot lap. So let's see how this goes.
There he is, entering cotton corners there, setting up a good line coming into the dogleg section. Excellent line there, holding a lot of momentum, setting up the brake zone into bus stop, carrying tons of speed over bus stop, maxing out the exit there, setting up his line for Riverside. And entering into Phil Hill, so we will catch him when he's coming back down into Sunset for the last turn of his last lap of his last session of this event. So we're hoping Damien can go just a little bit faster here.
A lot of last guy going on right there, but this could be the first time he beats Amir in Limited. That's not a last right there.
And there we are. We will see what happens. It's not over till it's over, and Damien is here to let you know.
Nope, Damien probably didn't see a fast lap on data. That'll happen. I mean, it saved the car, right? You're coming up to Sunset. You're nowhere near the lap time you need to be. I found his trunk, though. One of his teammates is holding his trunk. You know what happens is those are usually on quick clips, something that holds it very quickly. And I hate to say those things are finicky. Sometimes they break. And the last thing you want is the trunk ripping off the back of the car. So maybe they chose not to put it back on.
Well, there we have it, folks. That was the last session of the event. What a wonderful event that we've seen. We've seen so much action here. Lots of new records being reset. Man, it has been such an exciting day. Sean Cagle finishing this session out with a 144.145. Fair score to me. Finishing the day strong with a 144.497. Sean Kresbach with a 146.0. JC Monet with a 146.143. Amir Bentatao finishing off with a 146.430. And Damien finishing strong with a 147.1.
So, guys, that's going to be the end of this session. We're going to cut the stream for about 25 minutes, I feel. The podium is at 4:30. So be ready for that, but I just want to let you guys know, thank you so much for sticking with us on all the platforms. If you're on Facebook, YouTube, Global Time Attack's website, you're watching us on Race Hero, thank you so much. Let's go ahead and do this, guys. I want to give a huge shout out to our production crew, producer Ryan Randall's in Colorado, Jeffrey Hart, Derek McKell over there in Portland, Steven Sullivan, David Medina, and Riley McCloskey on camera. Huge shout out to Carla, my co-announcer. I'm Cuban Rodriguez. Mert. A lot of people don't, if you don't know who Mert is, MBDD Motorsports, he makes all the graphics that you're watching. He allows us to be able to do what we do graphic-wise. When you're looking at the live stream timing, when you're looking at this screen, Mert has done all of this. Also, don't forget, podium is at 4:30. This has been a great event. Records have fallen. Times were flying out there. So just get back with us at 4:30 so you can hear all the podium times, so you can see who made it, who didn't. Don't forget to go to globaltimeattack.com/live if you are curious about any of the things that happened over the event and how they unfolded with the heavy hitters. And I'll just shoot it to Carla for her to close it out.
All right. Thank you so much, Cuban. And thanks again to all of you guys watching us throughout this entire weekend. Again, what an exciting weekend this has been. And stay tuned for the podium here in 25 minutes. We have a lot of records to talk about, and I'm looking forward to it. So thanks again, guys, for watching. We'll catch you in 25 minutes for the podium.